It has been exactly 1 year that I moved from Germany to the US, and now I can confidently say I will never ever move back to Germany. In this video I will explain you exactly why and why I think the US is indeed the greatest country in the world. Hi, I'm Tobi. I'm a German who's living here in Miami, Florida. Please like and subscribe to this video. But now let's start why I think the US is a way better place to live and why I love it so much here. I can confidently say that the US is indeed the greatest country in the whole world, and I really love living here, and I'm very, very grateful for this great country and for all the opportunities I get here. My number one reason is freedom. First of all, you're really free here. You can live wherever you want. You don't have to register somewhere. You just move across. Nobody cares. You have real freedom of speech. In Germany, freedom of speech, it's a discussion, but you cannot say what you want. If you insult like a politician, you call our minister a clown, he might decide to press charges on you. Here you can say whatever you want. You can argue, is it good or bad? I think it's good that you have real freedom of speech here. But it's not only freedom of speech. I can also do whatever I want. In Germany, you are forced to pay $20 a month for some television program. It doesn't even matter if you never watch it. You're forced to pay it. No matter what, even if you don't have a TV, there's cases where people refuse to pay and they send them to jail. That's not freedom for me. Another part of freedom I really like here is you're free to defend yourself. You can own a gun. In Germany, it's almost impossible for a normal person to own a gun. Here, I mean, they do still some background checks. So if you're a crazy person or you're mentally ill, you cannot own a gun. But if you're a normal, good person, you can own a gun and defend yourself. It's not only the bad guys who have guns. Another very strong reason are the people here. I just love the American people. People are so positive and open-minded. They will embrace the change. If you try something, they will embrace it. In Europe, people will be like, no, are you sure you want to do that? And they're just way more optimistic. Like in Germany especially, people are, it feels like they're always depressed, they're always looking for the negative things. Here people are really positive and they always think the best of people. Of course there are exceptions to the rule, but overall I really feel welcomed here and people are very positive. And thank you everyone for welcoming me that well here. And even strangers here, they will celebrate your success, they will cheer you on. In Germany people are very envious of other people. Like if somebody's successful, it seems like everybody wants to keep you down. Another fact that might surprise a lot of people, I personally feel more safe in the US than in Germany. Have you ever been to Frankfurt train station? Here in Miami, I have never ever felt unsafe. There's police everywhere. In my building, there's 24/7 security. I know safety is a very individual thing, but if you live in the wrong area in Germany, it can be very unsafe. If you look at crime statistics, it might be a little bit worse here in the US, but I personally have witnessed way more crime in Germany than in the US. Like once in Frankfurt, I saw people taking drugs right next to me, and I also saw people getting robbed. I have never seen this in the US. Another very positive point in the US is personal growth and opportunity. The US is the strongest economy in the world. There's so many options, so many jobs you can do. If you want to be an actor, you can go to Hollywood. If you're in tech, there's Silicon Valley, all these tech startups. There's just so much opportunity. Of course, if you don't want to work, Europe is probably better because we have this amazing social system where you don't have to work. But if you want to achieve something in life, you want to make money, you want to have a career, the US is the best place to be. And also for starting a company, why do you think that all the successful companies all based in the US? Also, if you want to start a company, it's way easier here. Like you go online, you fill out a form, the LLC is started. In Germany, you have to go in person, need to print a thing, then they send it via mail. It just takes forever. And with that comes another reason. That is taxes. In Germany, 50% of your salary goes away in taxes. That makes it almost impossible to build any wealth as a normal human being. Here in the US, I pay way less taxes, even with having the same salary. I have way more money in my bank and there's just way more possibilities to build my personal wealth. Also, you have just way more investment opportunities here. There's like different stocks, ETFs that can only be traded in the US and the costs are way, way lower. Also for retirement, the US has a way better retirement system than we have in Germany. Here you have a 401k. In Germany, that does not exist. They first tax you 50% and then what is left, you can invest. But there's no tax-free retirement account. It does not exist. So it's way better. You have way more opportunities here to build some personal wealth and save for your retirement than in Germany. Another thing I really like here is comfort. Everything is so easy. I can take my car, there's parking everywhere, while in Germany it's almost impossible to find parking if you go somewhere. Yes, there's public transport, it might be a little bit better, but the buses are always late, the trains are always late, so I much rather go by car. And also you can get everything delivered. Here I can get my groceries delivered, my packages, it's way easier. In Germany it's not that easy. I have to-go options everywhere, there's way more variety if I want to eat outside. Like in Germany it's basically some German cuisine, some international cuisine, but here there's like so many options from everywhere in the world, and it's just very convenient. Also the US is just such an amazing, beautiful country. If you wanna go skiing, you're into winter sport, you can go to the north. You have like amazing mountains, amazing ski resorts. If you wanna go to the beach, you have California, you have Florida. It's just such an amazing and beautiful country. Like all these national parks like Grand Canyon, Yellowstone National Park, and so on. You don't even have to leave the country to experience amazing nature. And here's also another freedom aspect. Here you can just go hunting. In Germany you can't go hunting, right? There's no hunting season. You need like, it's very difficult to hunt in Europe. The US has it all. It's a paradise if you like nature. Another factor, healthcare is just way better. In Germany, my healthcare costs me $800 a month. Here I pay like 50 bucks. And if you're really sick, the US is just the best place to be. The best doctors in the world, they're all in the US. And the best doctors from Germany, guess where they are? Of course, they also moved to the US because the pay is just way better. You want to live in a place where you have the best doctors and the best treatments in the world, and that is the US without doubt. Also, the US is the pioneer in new medicine. So if you have a rare sickness, a rare illness, your chances to get healed are way higher in the US because you have like new treatments accessible to you that are not even available in Europe. So it's way better to be in the US than in Germany. Another reason for me is the weather. Of course, I'm in Miami, so the weather is really amazing here. I had all this winter depression, the days are gray in Germany. You have like 2-3 months with good weather, sometimes not even that. So I really love living here, to wake up, see the sun, go to the beach. The weather is just way better here. I also feel the US is just way more diverse. You have cultures from everywhere in the world. Asian, Latino, Arab, German, American, native, everything is mixed together. And I feel people are not as judgmental. In Germany, you have basically Germans, you have some immigrants, but it's not as diverse as here. Like nobody judges me for my accent. It's totally normal to have an accent here. Some people speak Spanish, some speak Portuguese, other people speak Russian. It's just very welcoming. Another thing I really enjoy here is customer service, customer support. In Germany, the customer support is horrible. You go to a restaurant, nobody cares that you're there. You need to call the waitress, and if you're lucky, she will come. Here you sit down, people come, you get really good service. If you're not happy, you can complain, you get something for free. Customer comes first. It's like just really amazing. And yeah, that's why I will stay in the US. I know it's not perfect. There's a lot of problems here, but I really love it here, and for me it's perfect. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? Have you ever considered moving to another country? Are you happy where you are? What do you think? What is the best country? And don't forget to hit like and subscribe to not miss any of my other videos.